It's the 9th of October 2024. This is a brand new edition of Newsfirst Primetime News coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Bringing you the news this evening for the Newsfirst team, I am Jaimal Ratnayaka.
And I am Hashni Pathirana. First up is a look at your headlines for tonight.
Vatican ambassador calls on President and extends the Pope's greetings. Commends the government's undertaking for a transparent probe into the Easter Sunday attacks. Nuwara Eliya Post Office to be handed over solely for the use of the Department of Posts. Minister Vijitha confirms. Ministry of Power and Energy to conduct study on revising the current electricity tariff formula. Aims to introduce a more consumer-friendly tariff system. Ranjan embarks on fresh political journey, unveils new party and announces intention to contest the general election.
මම ජනාධිපති නියුක්ති වුණු කිසි පිරිසකගේ සහාය ගද්දිත් කිව්වේ මට ඡන්දෙට ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා.
Tilwin's stance on contesting the parliamentary election.
නෑ මම ඡන්දෙ ඉල්ලන්නේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු පැත්තෙන් යනවා ගමන් යනකොට.
Will Namal's name be included in the SLPP's national list?
ඒක තීරණය වෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ විශේෂයෙන්ම ලංකාවටම එතුමට නායකත්වය දෙන්න ලේසිම විදිය.
In our top story for tonight, Apostolic Nuncio Most Reverend Dr. Brian Udekwe lauded President Anukumara Dissanayaka's initiative to conduct transparent and credible investigations into the Easter Sunday attacks. This was during a meeting between Most Reverend Dr. Brian Udekwe and President Anukumara Dissanayaka.
Apostolic Nuncio Most Reverend Dr. Brian Udekwe met with President Anukumara Dissanayaka at the President's office today. During the meeting, Most Reverend Dr. Brian Udekwe congratulated President Dissanayaka on his recent election victory, conveying heartfelt greetings from His Holiness Pope Francis, the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City-State. Ambassador Udekwe also extended best wishes for the continued success and prosperity of Sri Lanka under the new President's leadership. Dr. Udekwe expressed optimism about Sri Lanka's future, stating that positive developments were forthcoming in line with the people's aspirations. He commended President Dissanayaka's commitment to the welfare of the country and its citizens, offering the Vatican's support in realizing the President's vision for Sri Lanka. Dr. Udekwe also lauded the President's initiative to conduct transparent and credible investigations into the tragic Easter Sunday attacks. Dr. Udekwe assured the fullest cooperation of the Vatican in supporting the President's ongoing efforts to bring justice and healing to the victims and their families. According to the President's media division, the meeting underscored the strong diplomatic relations between Sri Lanka and the Vatican, with both leaders emphasizing mutual collaboration for the betterment of the nation and its people. The ambassador of the Republic of Korea, Myon Lee, made a courtesy call on President Anukumara Dissanayaka today at the President's office. Ambassador Myon Lee expressed the Korean government's unwavering support to Sri Lanka with the continuation of people-to-people exchanges, cooperation in education, health and other various sectors. Ambassador Lee reaffirmed Korea's support to education, health, digitalization, climate initiatives and renewable energy, highlighting the work of Korea International Cooperation Agency, Korea Foundation for International Healthcare and Seymour Foundation in Sri Lanka. In line with the commitments set out by the International Monetary Fund, the ambassador wished Sri Lanka for a successful debt restructuring program and emphasized the commitments by Korea Exim Bank to renew framework agreement for loan projects to Sri Lanka. Lee expressed Korean companies' interest in resuming investments and called for transparent policies to attract foreign direct investment. German ambassador to Sri Lanka Felix Neumann met with President Anukumara Dissanayaka at the President's office. During the meeting, Ambassador Neumann congratulated President Dissanayaka on his recent election victory and conveyed Germany's commitment to standing by Sri Lanka as a steadfast partner. Ambassador Neumann emphasized the long-standing partnership between Germany and Sri Lanka and expressed Germany's eagerness to continue cooperation on mutual interests. He highlighted Germany's 70 years of experience in human resource development and pledged support to Sri Lanka in strengthening this sector. Ambassador, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Switzerland to Sri Lanka, Dr. Foree Foree, met with President Anrukumara Dissanayake. During the meeting, Ambassador Foree extended her congratulations to President Dissanayake on his recent election victory, conveying best wishes on behalf of the government and people of Switzerland. Ambassador Foree reaffirmed Switzerland's commitment to supporting Sri Lanka, particularly through the ongoing IMF program, and expressed Switzerland's readiness to assist in President Disanayake's efforts to combat corruption. She also emphasized Switzerland's expertise in foreign direct investments and tourism, offering assistance to Sri Lanka in these sectors to promote economic growth. The ambassador of the Kingdom of Thailand to Sri Lanka paid a courtesy call on President Anrukumara Dissanayake. During the meeting, the Thai ambassador extended congratulations on the president's recent election victory and conveyed the best wishes of the government of Thailand. He also delivered a special message from the King of Thailand, congratulating President Dissanayake and expressing goodwill towards his administration. In the discussion, the ambassador noted the high expectations that the people of Sri Lanka have for the newly elected government and offered Thailand support in helping to meet these aspirations. He highlighted the benefits of the recently signed free trade agreement between the two nations, emphasizing the mutual economic gains and offering to boost Thai investments in Sri Lanka, particularly in the processing and export of local fruits and produce. Vietnamese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Trinh Thi Tham, met with President Anrukumara Dissanayake today. According to President's media division, the ambassador and President Dissanayake had a productive meeting where the duo discussed Vietnam's success in foreign direct investment and explored ways to enhance FDI promotion in Sri Lanka. The duo further engaged in discussions to strengthen cultural ties and boost tourism between the two nations. They also explored direct flight connections and boosting tourism. Minister Vijitha Herath emphasized today that all decisions regarding the Nuwara Eliya post office have been suspended and that it has been determined that it will be dedicated solely to the operations of the Department of Posts. Now, he made this statement during the World Post Day celebrations held today at the Temple Trees.
The historic post office building in Nuwara Eliya stands as a symbol of our postal service. Recently, decisions were made to forcibly take control of that building. We assure you, this is not the policy of the new government under our new president. Therefore, we are designating this national asset, the Nuwara Eliya post office and its premises, exclusively for the functions of the Department of Post. It will not be allocated to anyone else. All previous decisions regarding this matter will be suspended. We will ensure that you can continue your work and we will provide the necessary facilities. After the establishment of the new government in November, we will develop a permanent framework to address the various challenges faced by postal workers, ensuring that those who have not received their salaries and benefits will be fully compensated.
The commemoration event coinciding with the 150th World Post Day was led by Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya and Minister Vijitha Herath. Postmaster General Ruwan Satkumara and other representatives from the Department of Posts also attended the event. A commemorative stamp and a cover were issued in conjunction with World Post Day. A stamp featuring the portraits of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya and Minister Vijitha Herath were presented to them during the ceremony.
We need to adapt our postal services to meet the evolving technological demands of the world while contributing to the development of our national economy. It is essential that we engage in comprehensive discussions on how to secure and advance this service, and we are committed to taking the necessary steps in this regard. I understand that we have lost a general post office due to various circumstances. Therefore, our government will conduct a study on how to utilize this valuable building effectively for our future needs.
On to another headline-making story for tonight. The Ministry of Power and Energy has announced plans to amend the Electricity Act. Secretary to the Ministry, Professor Udayanga Hemapala, said that a review process has already commenced. He also indicated that the Ministry aims to gather feedback from representatives of the electricity trade unions concerning the proposed changes to the Act.
New amendments will be introduced to ensure that the Act promotes maximum efficiency without harming the country or the Ceylon Electricity Board. The Secretary emphasised that the President, as the Minister in charge of the subject, has instructed the Electricity Board to implement the restructuring programme effectively. He said that the amendments to the Act will be passed in the new Parliament. The Electricity Act was enacted on the 6th of June 2023, which resulted in the division of the Electricity Board into 12 companies and established provisions for employee assignments. However, the trade unions representing the Ceylon Electricity Board's employees have strongly protested against these changes, claiming that there are efforts to sell the Ceylon Electricity Board. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Power and Energy has announced that a study is underway to revise the current price formula for electricity tariffs. Professor Udayanga Hemapala said that the price formula will be updated to create a more convenient electricity tariff system for the public. Once a new system is presented to the Minister in charge, the President, it will be forwarded to the Cabinet for consideration.
Health services are vital for protecting the fundamental right to life. However, instead of supporting the people, our country's healthcare system has consistently faltered, resulting in life-threatening situations.
Tonight, we take a look at the repercussions of these failures on Sri Lanka.
What happened to Sri Lanka?
We begin with Ananda Kumar from Uvaparanagama. Ananda's family, including his wife and daughter, depend on the modest income he earned driving a three-wheeler. In May 2023, he sought treatment for a troubling issue with his eye and was admitted to the Nuwara Eliya General Hospital. After undergoing laser treatment in both eyes, Ananda experienced severe complications. He remains unaware of the specific medication he received, but he shared his distressing experience with us.
නෝර්ලි ස්පිතාලට බෙහෙත් ගන්න ගියා. මම ගිහලා ගාරමේ ගියේ එලිමල දාලා බස් එකේ ගියේ. ගිහලා රේසර් කරන් පස්සේ S එකම පේනුනොත් ගියා. මේ අයියා විලා තමයි එක්කන ආවේ නෝර්ලි ඉඳලා. හරි අමාරු වුණා දැන්. මගේ ජීවිතේ ඔක්කොම ඉවර වුණා දැන්. ළමයි කැම්පස් යන්න තියෙනවා. ඒකටත් මොනවත් කරන්න බැරිලා ඉන්නේ.
On the 18th of May 2023, a complaint was filed at the Nuwara Eliya General Hospital regarding his case. Yet, no action has been taken. To date, Ananda is blind. Are these incidents to be taken lightly? Ananda Kumar, once a vibrant family man, is now living in despair. What medications were administered to him? Is there not a pressing need for a thorough investigation into what went wrong? In early 2023, over 20 patients who received a medication called prednisolone developed serious complications. Has there been a fair investigation into these incidents? These are not the only incidents. The list continues. After administering the vaccine ceftriaxone, a young woman died at the Peradeniya Teaching Hospital last year. A patient from Kegaul treated for mouth injuries also died after receiving ceftriaxone. This medicine has been registered with the National Medicines Regulatory Authority since 2013. Next we turn to bupivacaine, an anesthetic medication. 2 women who received this medication at the Peradeniya Hospital also died. Tests revealed that the medicine was substandard. It was distributed under a system claiming to meet US standards, though it had not been registered with the NMRA. A pregnant mother lost her life after being administered this medicine while hospitalized for the birth of her second child. Propofol is another anesthetic used for sedation. After its use at hospitals in Theldenia and Mathura, patients reported complications. Investigations revealed that propofol contained harmful endotoxins and was procured through an emergency purchase without proper registration. Concerns have also been raised about the antibiotic amoxiclav. Several hospitals reported severe allergic reactions in patients and 3 fatalities linked to its use. What investigations have been conducted regarding these incidents? Has the root cause been identified? The issue surrounding human immunoglobulin is now coming into the limelight due to the ongoing legal proceedings. This medication was procured at a cost exceeding 400 million rupees, not for medicine but for a substance supplied by a fraudulent company without any approval. Several individuals have been charged for this scam. The matter is currently before court. Similarly, purchasers of the substandard cancer medication rituximab have emerged linked to the same company. While only one transaction has become public, others remain hidden. During this time, high-ranking officials at the National Medicines Regulatory Authority indicated that inquiries would focus on Amal Biso. This is just the beginning. As we seek answers, it's vital to remember that every medication and medicinal device brought into our country requires approval from the NMRA. During the COVID-19 pandemic, processes were conducted online. This was confirmed by an announcement from the NMRA in October 2020. However, mishandling of data occurred within the government cloud data system. A complaint was lodged with the CID in July 2021, highlighting a lack of minimal backup security in the system. The matter subsequently went to court. Senior Deputy Solicitor General Dilip Piris informed the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court that drug traffickers exploited the pandemic. The data management company reported that sensitive information was deleted over the course of several hours. This data deletion has been described as a deliberate act and not an accident. With these alarming revelations, how many lives have been jeopardized for profit? As the world grapples in the aftermath of a pandemic and Sri Lanka struggles financially, people continue to seek essential medication. These issues demand immediate and thorough investigations. If we fail to take decisive action, we risk remaining a bankrupt nation. The public is now paying close attention to all of these matters.
The power of the people.
Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka decides.
Sri Lanka decides.
As the 2024 parliamentary election draws ever so closer, a total number of 33 political parties and independent groups have submitted their nominations for the general elections.
The Election Commission said that 246 independent groups have placed bonds. The deadline for submitting nominations is set for 12 noon on the 11th of October.
The district nomination papers of the National People's Power were endorsed by General Secretaries of the NPP and handed over to the district leader.
Just as you trusted the NPP, we have nominated 22 groups in whom you can place your trust for 22 districts. So put in your faith in us as the NPP and vote for us at this election, and we promise to give you a rich country with a beautiful life during the next 5 years.
පොහොසත් රටක් ලස්සන ජීවිතයක් අත්කර දීමට අවශ්‍ය කරන සියලු කරුණු කාරණා ඉදිරි අවුරුදු 5 තුල සපුරනවා.
එකක් තමයි අපි ඉදිරිපත් කරන කණ්ඩායමට අපි වග.
We will be responsible for the candidates that we nominate. We have fielded a good team. There are candidates that the people know and candidates who have been in parliament before. There are many leaders of our country who you would have seen on the media. In addition to that, professionals in our country and new leaders have also been fielded. We have fielded women candidates and candidates representing the Tamil and Muslim communities. We believe that there is a need for a new set of parliamentarians instead of the same old thieves who have been in parliament for so long. It is that group that we have nominated. We will definitely be responsible for these candidates that we field, and we ask the general public not to worry about anything, as the best group will be fielded from our party.
මේ මැතිවරණ දිනවන්න මම ජනතා විමුක්ති ලේකම් ලෙස මුළු පක්ෂ පාවිච්චි කළා වැඩ කරනවා. නෑ මම ඡන්දෙ ඉල්ලන්නේ මම පාර්ලිමේන්තු පැත්තෙන් යනවා ගමන් යනකොට.
ජනාධිපතිවරයාගේ භූමිකාව මේ කැම්පේන් එකේ
ජාතික ජනබලයේ නායකයා අනුර සහෝදරයා ජනාධිපති වෙලා ඉන්නවා. ඒකට මේ මහමැතිවරණ ජයග්‍රහණ කිරීමේදී අනිවාර්යෙන් අනුර සහෝදරයා සඳහා වෙච්ච දායකත්වය ලබා දෙනවා.
මොකද මහමැතිවරණත් එක්ක එතුමාට ඔහු ජනාධිපති කියලා අමතක වේද වැඩ කාර්යබහුල වේද කියන ප්‍රශ්නේ අහුවේ ඒකයි.
කොහොමත් අනුර සහෝදරව ජනාධිපතිකම ඔළුව තියන් ඉන්න කෙනෙක් නෙවෙයි. එයා දේශපාලනය කරා.
ජනතා විමුක්ති පෙරමුණේ ලේකම්තුමා ඉදිරි ආණ්ඩුවේ වගකීම කියන්නේ තානාන්තර බාරගන්නේ නැහැ.
නෑ ඒක පැහැදිලිව නෑ.
Candidates of the Samagi Jana Sandhanaya signed their nomination papers at the party office in Borala today. However, the parties within the alliance have not yet reached a final agreement on contesting in some districts.
In some districts, we are contesting with the Samagi Jana Sandhanaya. We have already decided that we will contest in the Puttalam district as an independent party alone with the civil society. Later, we got an invitation to contest with the Samagi Jana Sandhanaya. Following that, there are ongoing discussions. If we succeed in those discussions, we will contest with the Samagi Jana Sandhanaya in the Puttalam district. Otherwise, we have already held discussions with other parties and some civil companies to contest in the Puttalam district separately.
පුත්තලම දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ වෙනම අප පක්ෂයෙන් තරඟ කරන්නත් අනිත් සිවිල් සමාගම් කීප දෙනෙකුත් කතා කරලා තියෙනවා.
ඔබතුමා කොහෙන්ද මේ පාර?
කොළඹ.
ඔව්. කොළඹට ලොකු තරඟයක් දෙන්න වෙයි නේ.
මායක තරඟ දෙන්නේ අනිත් අයට.
ඔබතුමා කැපිලි කෙල්ලි දී කියලා කවුද දවසක
අයියෝ ඕවා කවුරුද ගණන් ගන්නෙ මේ පාර මම ජනතාවට තමයි බාර දෙන්නේ මේ වැඩේ හොඳේ ජනතාව හිතන්න ඕනේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට හර්ෂය අරිනවද නැද්ද කියන එක
එකක් දෙකක් මාරු වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඉතින් අහුලන්නේ මම නම් කොළඹින් තරම් කරන්නේ
ඒක අමාරු වෙයි කියලාද
මම දන්නේ ඒක මේ මම නම් කොළඹින් තරම් කරන්නේ
මේ හර්ෂ සිල්ලට වටෙන්ම ගහනවා කියලා
මම නම් දැනුවත් නැහැ ඒක ගැන
ඔබතුමා නෑ
මම නෑ අනේ මම මේ වගේ වැඩ කරන්නේ
නැහැ කැපිලි කෙල්ලි කියනවා
නෑ දේශපාලනය කියලා කියන්නේ අභියෝග රසක් තියෙන තැනක් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඒ අභියෝග වලට මුහුණ දෙන්න ඕන
පියා ඉල්ලන්නේ නැද්ද මොකද තත්ත්වය
නෑ අප්පච්චි ඉල්ලන්නේ නැහැ මේ පාර
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබතුමිය ඉඳලා ඉඳද මේ පියා මේ පාර ඡන්දයක් ඇරි
නෑ එහෙම එකක් නෙමෙයි ඊයේ ඇහුවා නේද උත්තර දුන්නා ඒක නම් මම තාම දන්නේ නැහැ මං හිතන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන් එක තාම ෆයිනලයිස් කරන ගමන් තමයි ඉන්නේ
The group contesting the general election under the gas cylinder symbol signed their nominations today at the Election Operations Office of former President Ranil Wickremesinghe on Flower Road, Colombo. Discussions on finalising the candidate lists are still ongoing. Due to unresolved problems with the lists, some leaders of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party have not yet signed their nominations.
No, not a crisis. When an alliance is formed and a list is prepared, there is a specific number included in that list. With that number, we have engaged in discussions with all parties because we aim to build a strong opposition in this election. Our goal is to present a group of strong candidates.
මොකද අසං කරේ නැද්ද? නෑ අපි හෙට අසං කරනවා.
ඇයි මේ තව කල් මරන්නේ?
නෑ ඉතින් අනික් සියලුම දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ නායකයෝ විදිහට අපි පක්ෂයේ ලේකම් සහ භාණ්ඩාගාරික සහ ජාතික සංවිධායක විදිහට දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ අනික් සේරම අසං කළා ඒ ප්‍රශ්න විසඳුනාට පස්සේ තමයි අපි වැඩේ කරන්නේ.
නෑ සාකච්ඡා යනවා තාම.
තව දවසයිනේ තියෙන්නේ අසං කරන්න.
නෑ දවසයි 11 බාර දුන්නා නැතිනේ.
අසං කරන්නේ නැති ඇයි?
නෑ අසං කරලා අපි කණ්ඩායම ආවේ නැන්නේ තාම. අපි හොඳ කණ්ඩායමක් දාන්නත් එපා.
නව බලාපොරොත්තු දල්වගෙන ඉන්න තරුණ තරුණියන්ගේ හඬ මේ කියන සියලු පාර්ශවයන් නියෝජනය කරන්නට අලුත් මුහුණක් අපේක්ෂා කළා විශේෂයෙන්ම කළුතර දිස්ත්‍රික් ජනතාව. කළුතර දිස්ත්‍රික්කෙන් මැති සභයට යන මට මම හිතන්නේ ඒ ජනතාවගේ අතේ තමයි ඒ වරම ලබා දෙනවද කියන තීන්දුව තියෙන්නේ.
Hambantota district leader of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna D.V. Chanaka has said that Namal Rajapaksa is yet to finalise the district in which he will contest. The SLPP today signed nomination papers at their party headquarters in Battaramulla. SLPP leader Mahinda Rajapaksa was also present at the party headquarters today.
මේ වෙද්දී නාමල් රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාට මුළු ලංකා
We have been tasked with coordinating election activities for Namal Rajapaksa throughout Sri Lanka. Our executive committee and Politburo have concluded that At this juncture, Rajapaksa should not be limited to a single district. His capabilities and support should be accessible to all positions and factions, which is why he continues to lead in the Hambantota district. However, he will contest from a district where he can effectively fulfill his responsibilities across the country.
ඒ වක්කීම් ඉටු කරන්න පුළුවන් තැනකින් තමයි එතුමා මැතිවරණයට ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්නේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ එතුමා ජාතික ලයිස්තුවෙන්ද එන්නේ නැත්නම් වෙන දිස්ත්‍රික්කකින් ඉල්ලනවද?
මේ වෙද්දී අපි ඒක තීරණය කළා.
We have not yet made that decision. However, we anticipate that all choices will be made with the intention of providing leadership to all of Sri Lanka in the most effective manner possible.
ලේසිම විදිය.
The Colombo district candidates of the People's Struggle Movement submitted their nominations today.
ජනතාවගේ පරමාර්ථ ඉෂ්ට කර ගැනීම සඳහා ජනතාවට අඛණ්ඩ
The people have a constant struggle ongoing in order to achieve their goals. An ally of this very struggle must represent the people in parliament. We urge the people of our country to change the opposition as well.
වෙනස් කරමු කියන බලපෑමත් අපේ රටේ ජනතාවට කරනවා.
The Gampha district candidates of the People's Struggle Movement submitted their nominations today.
අපිට ඕනකම තියෙනවා මේ රටේ ජනතාවගේ අභිලාෂ ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්න ජනතාවගේ බලාපොරොත්තු දිනවන්න ඕනකම තියෙනවා ඒක
We feel the need to help the people achieve their goals. A group that stood by these goals, a group that fought for these goals is needed at a time like this. We have decided as the People's Struggle Movement to stand for this election, hoping to achieve these goals and hoping to change the opposition.
නියෝජනය කරලා ජනාධිපති සන්ධානයේ වෙනුවෙන් විපක්ෂයත් වෙනස් කරමු කියන බලාපොරොත්තුවත් එක්ක විපක්ෂයත් වෙනස් කරමු කියන ඉල්ලීමත් එක්ක මේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මැතිවරණයට ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්නේ.
The Mathura district candidates of the People's Struggle Movement also submitted their nominations today. Dharmalingam Siddharthan submitted his nomination in Jaffna on behalf of the Democratic Tamil National Alliance. The members of former MP C.V. Vigneswaran's Tamil Makkal Kootani submitted their nominations in Jaffna today. An independent group submitted their nominations in Anuradhapura today. Anuradhapura District Assistant Election Commissioner A. Muhundan said that 5 independent groups have deposited their bonds for the general election. The Janasatha Peramuna submitted their nominations in the Hambantota district.
A new political party was launched under the leadership of former parliamentarian Ranjan Ramanayaka today. The symbol of political party United Democratic Voice is the microphone.
The party, which was first established in 2005, was registered in 2022. The national organizer of the party is former cricketer T.M. Dilshan. Former SJB parliamentarian Vadivel Suresh also attended the event to launch the party.
A group of people had revoked my civic rights, preventing me from entering parliament. When I had checked during the past few years, my polling card had been sent to my brother-in-law's house in Kochikade. But I could not vote as I was in Korea. When I called the Commissioner General of Elections and the chairman of the Election Commission over the phone, they said that I can vote. After that, I sought the opinion of several President's Councils and they said that I can contest the election. Some people asked me to stop singing and acting and get involved in active politics because there is no one to speak on behalf of them. They said that there are enough of people to sing and act and they asked me to be their voice. I was once the voice of the expatriates suffering in the Middle East, spoke against fraud and corruption. They said that although my method to nab thieves was unethical, many details on scams and fraud were exposed to the country through that. They proposed that I re-enter parliament to play that role.
නැවතත් උත්තරීතර පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට එන්න කියලා තමයි යෝජනාව ආවේ.
සාමාන්‍ය අභියෝග බාර ගන්න කැමති කෙනෙක්.
I am a person who likes to take on challenges. There is a massive challenge ahead as the national organizer of this party. During the little time that I have spent, we have been able to field candidates in 90% of the districts across the country. I am very happy about the fact that I have been able to achieve this as the national organizer within a short span of time. That gives us strength. In some districts, we have so many people that we cannot include some of them in our lists. We continue to receive requests today late. Even before we launched, many people have joined our party. I was not planning on entering politics, but the leader of our party, Ranjan Ramanayaka, invited me. I had helped several political leaders to implement a program that will help the country.
ආරාධනාවක් ඇත්තටම දේශපාලන දෙන්නනේ මේ හිටියේ මම නොයෙකුත් දේශපාලන නායකයන්ට මම උදව් කරා රටට අවශ්‍ය වැඩපිළිවෙලක් ගේන්න මම වැඩපිළිවෙලක් ඇතා මේ පාර ලංකාවට ආවේ.
There is no issue in joining hands with Ranjan. There is no political racism, no religious extremism, and he distributes everything that he has, including his salary. He lives a simple life. Therefore, we will stand united with him, including all people from all races and religions in the country. That is what this country needs. This country needs this new party, that is the United Democratic Voice. We are ready to raise this voice inside Parliament after the 14th.
කතා කරන්න බැරි වෙලා එක ලියවිලා තියෙන්නේ. You can't criticize judges. You cannot criticize judiciary anymore. මම ඒක දිවුරුම් පෙස්සමකින් අස්සම් කරලා තියෙනවා. මම ඒක කරන්නේ නැහැ ආයි කවදා. මම මේක පොරොත්තු වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒක ඇර අනිත් දේවල් කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්.
දැන් මේ පක්ෂේ ලියාපදිංචි කරලාද නැත්නම් කවද්ද?
පක්ෂ පිහිටුවා තියෙන 2005 ලියාපදිංචිය 2022.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබ කාගෙන් හරි පක්ෂයක් ගත්තා.
පක්ෂයක් ගන්න එක, පක්ෂයක් මිලදී ගන්න එක අයිති කරගන්න මැතිවරණ නීති රීති වලට අනුව තහනම් දෙයක් මැතිවරණ අල්ලසක් වගේ වෙනවා. මේ පක්ෂයේ ප්‍රධානයක්.
කවුද මේ පක්ෂේ නායකයා හිටපු නායකයා කාටද කිව්වේ?
හිටපු නායකයෙක් හිටියේ නෑ. මුබාරක් ඉන්නවා ෆවුන්ඩ් හැටියට. එතකොට ජේසිල් මහත්මයා ඉන්නවා මහලේකම්තුමා හැටියට. මම පක්ෂ නායකයා.
Meanwhile, the nomination papers of the United Democratic Voice for the Gampa district were submitted to the district secretariat yesterday.
The second generation signed agreements with artists, journalists and other organizations to participate in the upcoming general election today. The event took place at the office in Battaramulla, Thalawattugoda. Veteran actor Kamal Adrarachi was also among them.
අද මිනිස්සුන්ට තියෙන ප්‍රධානම අවශ්‍යතාවය තමයි
The main need of the people today is a government that can provide solutions to their problems. The responsibility of the parliament is to be dedicated to this goal. We need a parliament that will take decisions while prioritizing the country's well-being and acting in unity against any decision that may harm it. The first challenge today is to form a government with a majority. For President Anurukumara Dissanayaka, I think the people will give him that majority. We are on a very good path. We hand over the general public the responsibility of electing good leaders into parliament. The second generation political movement has created a broad and strong organization to represent the role of an opposition. We are inviting all those who love this country, want to protect the country, to unite with us for a new political transformation. Today, many organizations and individuals are joining forces with us, and we hope to enter this election as a broad alliance. If the people are hoping for a good government and good people to the ruling party and elect the same old thieves to this opposition, this country cannot be taken any forward. Former President Maithripala Sirisena announced today that he will support the Sarva Jana Balaya at the upcoming general election. Earlier, his son Daham Sirisena, joining Sarva Jana Balaya, said that he will contest from the Polonnaruwa district.
සර්ව ජනබලවේගයේ මූලස්ථානයට ආවා. ඒ වගේම සර්ව ජනබලවේගයේ තමයි දැන් ඉන්නේ. පුතාල් කරන්නේ මේ තාත්තත් ඇවිල්ලා. තාත්තා යන පාරනේ ඉතින් පුතා යන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා පුතාට කිව්වා මේ පාර හොඳයි කියලා. ඒක නිසා පුතා මේ පාර යනවා. ඉතින් මම ඉතින් මේක සපෝට් එක දෙන්න ඉතින් පුතාගේ සර්ව ජනබලයට සපෝට් කරන්න ඕනේ. පුතාට සපෝට් කරන්න. පුතා කියන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ පරීක්ෂ නිසා මෙතෙන් ආවයි කියලා. දැන් ඔබතුමාත් එතකොට ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ ප්‍රතිපත්තිය ගන්න තියෙනවද? ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ තියෙන්නේ අධිකරණයේ.
The Sri Lanka Freedom Party is currently facing legal challenges. When the chairman's position became inactive, the whole party became inactive. The party split into several factions. However, there is hope that the party will find justice through the courts and that capable leaders will emerge to guide it. Even if the Sri Lanka Freedom Party is re-established, we hope to move forward with the Sarva Jana Balaya.
Newsfirst with the people.
The draft resolution on promoting reconciliation, accountability and human rights in Sri Lanka was adopted without a vote at the United Nations Human Rights Council session in Geneva.
Sri Lanka has opposed HRC Resolution 51/1 and the preceding HRC Resolution 46/1, under which an external evidence gathering mechanism has been established within the OHCHR. For the above reasons, we reject the draft resolution tabled at the Council today, seeking to extend the mandate of Resolution 51/1. The detailed reasons for our rejection are contained in the long version of this statement, as well as in document HRC/57/G1. Notwithstanding rejection of the resolution, Sri Lanka will continue its long-standing constructive engagement with this Council, including with regular human rights bodies, treaties to which we are party, as well as the UPR process. We will keep the Council updated on the progress we make. I would also like to express appreciation for the principled positions taken by many in this Council in support of Sri Lanka as we enter a new chapter in our country. At a time of intense cynicism and polarization within the multilateral arena on human rights and humanitarian situations in the context of the ongoing travesties of these norms, we urge the co-sponsors of this politicized draft resolution, which we oppose, to support and encourage the government's clear intention to address human rights and reconciliation through domestic processes and in line with our international obligations.
The Human Rights Council has decided to extend the mandate of the Office of the High Commissioner and all work requested of it by the Human Rights Council in its Resolution 51/1 and requests the Office to present an oral update to the Council at its 58th session and a comprehensive report on progress in reconciliation, accountability and human rights in Sri Lanka at its 60th session to be discussed in an interactive dialogue.
The Court of Appeal decided today to take up the petition filed seeking an order to direct the National Police Commission to take disciplinary action against the former director of the State Intelligence Service, Nilantha Jayawardena. The petition will be taken up on the 13th of November.
The petition was filed by the Centre for Society and Religion against the former SIS chief over his failure to take action to prevent the Easter Sunday terror attack despite receiving intelligence in advance. The petition was considered today before a bench of the Court of Appeal comprising Justices Sobita Rajakaruna and Mahen Gopallava. The members of the National Police Commission have also been named as a respondent in the petition. Appearing on behalf of the former director of the State Intelligence Service, President's Counsel Chandaka Jayasundara said that as a new investigation has been launched against his client based on the order of the Supreme Court, there is no requirement to continue to seek relief under the petition. The Court of Appeal ordered for the petition to be called on the 13th of November for support or withdrawal of the petition. The 20 Chinese nationals who were arrested in Panadura for allegedly committing financial fraud online were remanded until the 23rd. These suspects were produced before the Panadura Magistrates Court today.
According to the police, the arrests were made at a hotel in Panadura North based on a tip-off received. The police also reported that the suspects did not possess valid visas at the time of their arrest. 437 mobile phones and 5 laptops in the possession of the suspects were impounded by the police. Commander of U.S. Pacific Fleet, Admiral Steve Kohler, will engage in an official visit to Sri Lanka tomorrow.
Admiral Steve Kohler, a 4-star U.S. Navy admiral and commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, will visit Sri Lanka on the 10th of October, marking the highest-level U.S. military visit to the country since 2021. During the visit, Admiral Kohler will reaffirm the strong partnership between the United States and Sri Lanka for an enduring, resilient, free and open Indo-Pacific. Admiral Kohler will engage with senior Sri Lankan officials to discuss rising security challenges in the Indian Ocean region, strengthen collaboration on maritime domain awareness and disaster response, reaffirm the US's commitment to supporting Sri Lanka in combating transnational threats, and discussing the growing cooperation between US and Sri Lankan forces. According to a statement by the US Embassy, this visit underscores the United States' strong commitment to strengthening security ties with Sri Lanka, a key partner in promoting peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. The Pacific Fleet remains the world's largest naval command, extending from the west coast of the United States into the Indian Ocean, encompassing 3 oceans, 6 continents and more than half the Earth's surface. The Pacific Fleet continues to be a credibly led, combat-ready and surge-ready fleet prepared in peace, crisis or war. The US Pacific Fleet is a formidable component of the United States Navy, responsible for naval operations in the Pacific Ocean. It comprises approximately 200 ships, 1,500 aircraft and 150,000 military and civilian personnel. A new HBO documentary about the origins of Bitcoin suggests that Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous creator of the original cryptocurrency, is likely Canadian software developer Peter Todd.
A new HBO documentary identifies Canadian developer Peter Todd as Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous founder of cryptocurrency Bitcoin. Cullen Hoback, the award-winning filmmaker behind the documentary, comes to the conclusion by stitching together old clues and new ones, and then confronting both Todd and Blockstream founder Adam Back, another key Satoshi suspect, with the evidence. If Todd is widely accepted as Bitcoin's creator, the revelation would end more than a decade of speculation over the identity of a person whose work spawned a global, multi-billion-dollar craze for digital currencies. A mania that has pushed back the frontiers of finance, but also enabled widespread fraud and other illicit activities. Todd is not unknown to enthusiasts of the stateless money system. As a long-standing Bitcoin co-developer, known for communicating publicly with Satoshi before his disappearance from crypto forums in 2010, his name has always carried weight in the community. But he was rarely considered a prime suspect. A 39-year-old graduate of Ontario College of Art and Design in Toronto, Todd would have been 23 when the famous Bitcoin white paper that first laid out the vision for the decentralized money system was being completed. Todd previously told a podcast he was about 15 years old when he first started communicating with key crypto influencers known as the cypherpunks.
Google was recently adjudged a monopolist by a US district court for violating US antitrust laws in its attempt to stay as the default search engine on devices and web browsers. Now, consequent to this decision, the US Department of Justice is chalking up plans to correct the anti-competitive behavior, and their proposal solutions include breaking Android, Chrome and Google Play away from Google.
The US government says it is considering whether to ask a judge to break up search engine giant Google in a move that could reshape how technology giants do business. The Department of Justice says the measures may include structural requirements to prevent Google from maintaining its internet search monopoly. In response, Google warned that the proposed changes could have unintended consequences for US businesses and consumers. The Department of Justice's announcement comes after a landmark court ruling in August that found Google had maintained its dominance of online search through illegal practices. The Department of Justice said in a court filing that it is considering remedies that would prevent Google from using products such as Chrome, Play and Android to advantage Google search and Google search-related products. In a blog post, Google's Vice President of Regulatory Affairs, Leanne Mulholland, said the recommendations constitute government overreach. The Department of Justice is expected to submit a more detailed set of proposals by the 20th of November. Google will be able to submit its own proposed remedies by the 20th of December. The Department of Justice is expected to submit a more detailed set of proposals by the 20th of November. Google will be able to submit its own proposed remedies by the 20th of December. The court decision in August was a major blow to Alphabet, Google's parent company. It came after a 10-week trial in which prosecutors accused Google of paying billions of dollars a year to firms including Apple and Samsung to ensure it was their default search engine. Google's lawyers argued that users are attracted to the search engine because they find it useful and that Google is investing to make it better for consumers. Other pending lawsuits against big US technology firms including Facebook-owned Meta, Amazon and Apple, accusing them of anti-competitive practices. The lawsuits are part of attempts by US authorities to strengthen competition in the industry.
South Africa recorded an 80-run victory over Scotland in their encounter at the 2024 ICC Women's T20 World Cup. Africa won the toss and decided to bat first in Dubai. The South African innings was opened by captain Laura Woolwart and Tasmin Brits, who put up a quick-fire 64-run stand for the first wicket. Laura Woolwart scored 40 runs while Tasmin Brits scored 43. Marizane Cap raced to 43 runs in just 24 deliveries. South Africa scored 166 runs for the loss of 5 wickets, utilising their allotted 20 overs. Chasing 167 for victory, Scotland lost their first 3 wickets for just 30 runs. Alyssa Lister was dismissed for 12 runs. Scotland's innings came to an end in just 17.5 overs with a total score of 86 runs. Catherine Fraser scored 14 runs. Nonkululeko Laba of South Africa bagged 3 wickets, while Chloe Tryon and Nadine de Klerk shared 2 wickets each. And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight.
Thank you for watching.
Good
night.
night.